Hi, my name is Jenessee Roy, and I'm going to be your chakra guide for this month's beginner's journey. So stay tuned, and we're going to discuss how you can become really conscious with your chakra system and begin to live in a very connected, energetic realm for this month of May 2022. It's May 2022 and there is change in the air, not only with spring for us here in the Midwest and East Coast. We've been waiting for this transition, but also just lots of change, rapid, fast change. That's what the 5 energy brings us from May. And so as you begin to get really conscious and explore what this month and what this part of your journey could look like, what we're going to do is we're going to start to anchor into a very specific area within our multidimensional chakra system so that we can get clear and really work together with our energy instead of going head to head and fighting and resisting what's coming our way. So how we do this is we use numerology, we use the wisdom and messages of the chakra system, and then we pair that all together to really anchor into a different aspect that you're mastering this month. So as we look at the multi-dimensional chakra system, we not only have our 7 classic chakras from root at the base of the spine all the way up to crown at the top of the head, but we also have our chakras that run horizontally, left to right, and then go out vertically. Well, not vertically so much as like future and past, which is another expression. And this creates your 3-dimensional reality, or what you, this beautiful human, is experiencing in this reality. So as we combine together all of these different aspects of our chakra system, or the vortices centers, what we do is our mental plane thinks, our emotional plane feels, and then our physical plane acts. So what we think, what we feel, and then how we act, or what we choose to act upon, really becomes the reality we're living in. And so how do you stop the habitual patterns? How do you stop all of these things that show up that kind of take you off your path, that make you regret things you're doing, that make you want to unplug and detach from what you're experiencing? You get in and you work with your chakra system, because your chakra system is literally what's creating, I maybe shouldn't say literally there, but energetically what's creating the literal reality that's surrounding you. So because your chakras reside within all levels and layers and planes of awareness, it can really behoove you to start to understand and experience this. And so what we do in the beginner's monthly journey is we pick the one collective energy that's coming in right now, and we focus on this in connection to the month and what we're experiencing exactly in this moment in time, as well as our collective energy and what our collective energy is creating for all of us to experience. So this month we're going to start with and work with the energy of our third eye chakra, but it's specifically window 66. Again, when we look at this entire multidimensional grid, we're not just working with the 7 classic chakras. These 7 classic chakras create 78 expressions that create our physical, emotional, and mental plane, which creates our whole physical reality. And so when we get really deep into what's connecting, what's happening right now, that specific window that we're going to work on this month of May is window 66. So in numerology, this is a master number, which means there's great importance around working in this level or at this level. And so we're going to start there. You know, a 6 is representative of love. It's an unconditional number. The 66 showing up can emphasize a lot of really starting to become vulnerable in your space to allow something greater, something much bigger than you in. And what this is going to come through the vessel of is our third eye chakra. And so it's not specifically our third eye chakra, but it's the gift that when we clear and work with the level or the plane of our third eye chakra in this mental field, what happens is there is a gift, there's something that we have the ability to tap into. And so window 66 is all about clear intention. And this is all about really getting clear about what you are doing, what is happening in the world around you, not being reactive and being more of an observer within your own reality. And so people explain this as having, and this is an extreme example, but people explain this as having out-of-body experiences. And again, that's a bad maybe example because that's very, very far into one extreme of what this energy can help us with. But it's those moments where we have experiences in our life that then we're not just witnessing it from our perspective. We're not just witnessing it from how does this affect me? What do I say next? How do I react to what's happening? We have this ability to almost observe, slow down time, and observe all of the, chess pieces that are in the reality with us. And we're actually able to see the bigger game that's being played. And people tend to have this, this awareness come in when they start really, working with their mental field, where they start trying to understand why they think what they think, why they're, in their head, or what their head is, communicating, or all of that monkey mind, a mental chatter that we tend to get kind of sucked into sometimes. When you really start to focus on this area of awareness, what you're thinking, what intuitive thoughts or what hunches you're experiencing, what you're kind of daydreaming, what you're thinking about in the car, all of these things. When you really start to get into that mode of trying to understand yourself in a really expansive way, and what your mind is creating or what your mind is projecting or connecting into, when we do that and then we realize that we want to have a different experience with our lives, what happens is we get these moments of perspective where when things are happening in our reality, when a situation arises, we don't necessarily get triggered by it in the same way, yet we're able to stay almost, we're still in it, but there's a level of being able to be removed from it where it's as if you're watching your life happen, like your life is a play in a theater or a play on a stage somewhere, and you're able to see all of the pieces and parts that are kind of moving together to orchestrate what's happening and how the scene is happening around you. And so this month is about mastering this energy. It's about mastering the energy of getting out of your own conditioned responses, getting out of your mind, and allowing yourself to have these moments of greater perspective. So the mastery of this is that it's the third eye chakra, the balanced third eye chakra, comes to us with the gift of clairvoyance, right? So if we were working on the third eye chakra, we'd be working on our mind, our intuition, to give us the greater perspective of things. That's being able to decipher, decode, and trust what's coming into your mental field. This energy, the mastery energy, is the action that's created when we start to work within our mental field, when we start to work within our third eye chakra. When you actually focus on opening, working with, gaining perspective over your life, what happens is you get this infusion of energy, and that's what you're working on this month. Window 66, opening this window 66, which connects to all of the windows in the chakra, the third eye chakra level. And what it does is it allows you to not, again, get self-identified, get triggered, or get stuck at the level of trying to understand what's in the mind, but it allows you to almost freeze time and witness everything, right? And they say we only use 10% of our brain, or whatever the new percentage is. And it's, it's said that there's so much going on in our reality that we're only able to pick up on, on just a little percentage of it that actually matters to us. And then that's kind of where we get into these habitual patterns or habitual states. And so this is like expanding from that 20 or 10% to like 20%, right? And so it's the ability to see more than you typically see, understand more of what's going on, the puppeteering that's going on behind the scenes to coordinate and get everything working together to present you a situation or you a scenario within your life that then you can gain more perspective from, make different decisions, or interact in a different way that brings you a new experience. And so this is about getting out of your own hamster wheel, getting out of kind of the reality or the play, if your life is a movie, it tends to be that same movie over and over on repeat. This is about introducing a whole new genre of experience when you can not get so embedded in the details or entangled in what is that you keep playing the same role. This is about being able to experience so much more. And so that's what we're working on this month. And I love it coming up this May, because May, the 5, it's a change month, which means we are going to be going through a lot of change. And this is absolutely beautiful, because change naturally disturbs the reality. Change naturally disturbs the status quo. And so this is like a gift packaged option for you to really start to play with, okay, when something out of the ordinary, when that change moment happens, am I able to not go into a conditioned response? Am I able to really stay, present in what is, but so present in what is that I'm receiving so much more information than I typically do. And then that gives me more data and more experience to then create something different or create something bigger, newer, better. So this is really about, again, it's an accessing a level of vulnerability this month, because again, change can create moments where anytime change happens, we tend to want to cling on to what was. But this is when that change happens. Can you observe this from a new level, a new perspective, and then calculate and use your intuitive guidance or hunches or knowings or truths to then create something new. And so one of the beautiful things about working with numerology is that you can really use numerology all throughout the month to validate you, that you are experiencing exactly what you're experiencing, since I'm not going to be in your pocket, able to say, yeah, great job. So, when a 66 comes up, if you see 66 anywhere, use that as absolute validation that the window that you're working on, window 66, is ever present, that you're mastering it, that this is something that you're really learning and gaining the messages of clear intention, and that level of the third eye chakra, right? Being able to observe what's going on and make new decisions based off of more information, which creates a new reality, a new playground, a new play that you get to be a part of. And then, there's also the number 5 this month, which is a change month. So if you're seeing 5s everywhere, hunker down or untether, because there's going to be a lot of shifting, a lot of adjusting. And so maybe if you see 5s, you could use that as an indication that that things are getting ready to change again. And maybe there's going to be an opportunity to make a new decision or to perceive something in a new way, right? So this is just a really beautiful energy. I love it because it's a master energy. Every month we master a window, but this is like a double master, right? And it's coming with a lot of energy behind it, because a 5, a change month, is really energized. And so there's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of momentum to really explore this. Hopefully there's multiple opportunities to explore how you get to observe things from a grander perspective. I like to use like a football analogy, or you could do a theater analogy. But when you're in a football game, and this is extra credit here. When you're at a football game, if you're on the field, on the 50-yard line, you have what's considered a really amazing seat in the house, right? But all you can see is the game. All you can see is what's being played right there. This team against this team, and you're seeing it, and it's up close and personal, but that's all you can see. If you get a seat all the way up in the nosebleed sections, which is one of the worst seats in the house, in this metaphor, this is where you can not only see the game that's being played at that ground level, but you can also see everybody in the stadium, and you can also see the entire city that's not even a part of this one game that's happening. And it gives you a greater perspective. It means that you're not just stuck in the outcome of one situation. You know, you are much more clear to know that this one situation might mean life or death in this 1 hour, but when you can get the greater perspective and stay open to all things, you can see that there's so much more of the world that's going on, and there's so much more happening than just what you're focused on, which is this game in this minute. So when we can detach from that very specific ground level of being involved in all of this, how humans typically are, everything that happens in our reality we completely self-identify with, and it's life or death in that moment. And so if we can kind of take that higher perspective and realize this is just a game, you know, this is just another game being played. There's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser, or maybe a tie, who knows? But there's like so many more things going on, and that should hopefully help get you into a place of being able to observe things with less skin in the game, which means you can witness and feel into kind of the bigger flows that are happening. And so that is the mastery that comes in when we start to open this entire field of linear thinking and then holographic thinking, or that really intuitive, open right brain thinking. And when both those things are really harmonized and alignment together, then we can create a reality here that honors all of what we're seeing within not just this physical reality, but what we're feeling and understanding, which is the energy that's kind of moving, organizing, and orchestrating what we're experiencing here. So that is your May. I encourage you, if you're not, to join our membership site at the chakra community at chakrasroottocrown, and we provide monthly journeys to help you dive really deep into some of these concepts. We've got meditations, breath work, so many courses and levels of chakra awareness that you can move through. It supports us as creators, and it definitely supports you in your journey as you move through, experiencing yourself at the deepest levels while you walk in this beautiful world that we all get to live in. So my name is Jenessee, and I will look forward to seeing you next week.